is 2021, a new year, a new rise. New games like Joe's Subway Trials have shown how powerful Roblox is nowadays. There are games that are dying because of how outdated the game is compared to other newer generations of simulation games. I am very glad these games lasted a long time and we hope to see more new games in the future. However, there is a game out there called Transit City, owned by Transit City World, formerly known as Messiah Hill 1, 2, 3. This person has the most mediocre and the worst games that mysteriously has nearly 8,000 members in his group that provide the game franchise and just recently, 1,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, even opening an overpriced merchandise store that we will take a look at later on this video. First, we will talk about Messiah's cringe so-called meme videos. They are so awful and needs to be stopped. Anyone over 12 can realize how cringe these videos are. You can compare these to the videos made for kids and you can see the similarities. There is nothing funny about these videos at all and just gives a bad reputation to the transit agency. Messiah should stop this immediately and denounce it. Second, let's talk about how the numbers don't match up. Messiah's Transit City group has about nearly 8,000 members in his group, with rather a dead chat for just 8,000 members. However, on an average day, all three games get about 10 players every hour. If you have 8,000 members and only have 10 players on average hourly, it doesn't make sense. Usually, it's about 100 to 1,000. It makes it worse when you count the ratings. On average the rating is around 62%. This makes no sense at all. If you compare it to an older game however still slightly popular, Subway Testing, you can see it has an average of 40 players per hour with a positive rating of 77%. We will talk about my speculations and theories going on with this later. Third, his games. They are such a mess. How can anyone think that his game franchise is a great one? It's an absolute mess, you can tell it by his ratings, but it's better off not to judge a book from the cover. It's maybe good, right? Right? Wrong. When we start on the menu page, we just see miles of fog, you can't see the cities at all. Looking at the credits, everything is made by him. At this point, he should brag and put on every part with his name as the credit. His virtual store is broken. It isn't really a surprise that it's broken because most of the game is broken with no fixes for a very long time and you will see more of that soon. When we look at the working shop, you can see his virtual merchandise. The t-shirts are more of owning bragging rights like 100 Robux for a stupid shirt. No one can afford it because they're kids who don't have money. Below the merchandise, you can see a notice. In the notice, you can see a typo. Pacific. You're going to see that more commonly on the Transit City games soon. I call it the Messiah Gate. Here are some pictures of the three games of all of the typos I could find. Anyway, when I click play, I get spawned on top of the station roof. Great first experience, isn't it? The station is decent, I'll give him credit for that. It is getting nighttime and the sun is dipping, however, the brightness is so bright that it just looks like an atomic bomb was just touched land. The elevator finally works after many weeks of people telling Transit City World to fix the elevators. Which is both good and disappointing. The snowball gear doesn't work, it just aims in one direction even if you throw it somewhere else. When you enter the elevator, you are greeted with a big billboard of just of his merchandise. Transit City World should stop doing this, no kid can afford your bragging rights t-shirt. Once we go down to the underground world of trains, it seems like Messiah was lazy and just didn't care about hiding water from being seen on elevators. Another issue is the platform edges. You can't walk on them, you just fall down on the track bed. I can see why they would do this. However, with new Roblox technology such as collision groups, you can just fix this without having to annoy people and have them fall down. But let's be real, Messiah doesn't know how to do this at all, so I don't expect this even happening. The train is arriving. Great, the train derailed. As you can see, the problem is that the track is so sharply up, the train just instantly derails at a fast speed. The fact that this seems like a common problem annoys me and ruins the quality of the game and gameplay. Not trying to really nitpick on stuff, but this is really something that should have been obvious to Messiah when editing. The card vending machines look very similar. I wonder what could it be? Again, the sun rises and it looks just horrible. What kind of sun does that? I don't recall our sun doing that. When it rises more, it looks really horrible and sucks in some parts. Now, this is what I think makes people hate the game. Telling people to join to drive. It ruins the gameplay for everyone. You can't ride trains in the game because there's barely anyone on it. This is really considered as a malicious design, as in the description of the game it doesn't tell you that you need to join the group to drive and says it's a free drive, and at some spawns, they don't even tell you, and you die when you sit. As you can see here, this is the low quality building skills he has. Plop some concrete passageway to the station stairway in the middle of the road. This is really something that should be frowned upon. The fact that the elevator is actually broken and didn't fix it during creating the update is really stupid. The fact that he puts the other teleport really high is also infuriating. I think personally the game is literally unplayable unless you join the group, and that's probably why there are almost 8,000 members. However, I did play other games in the Transit City game franchise, but they don't have this issue. Fourth, let's finally talk about his little merchandise store. Before anything else, when you play the video you can see a video that isn't about Transit City but rather Subway Train Simulator. In his product catalog, you can see what he sells. Why is it expensive? The quality seems low and just ridiculously overpriced for it. A printed mask with just the Transit City logo is $20. It turns out that buying all of the products will cost $120. The only people that will buy them are little kids who will beg to get the overpriced products and get upset when their mom sees that it's really overpriced for something that they don't need. There are also sketchy Wish products listed on the website above Transit City's own merchandise. I personally think that is ridiculous to show Wish products first then your own products. That's how you don't make money, and people think that's a sketchy website. Lastly, I think it's really absurd that Messiah is selling these at just 1,000 subscribers, and most being children. No children would want a mug or a round mousepad. Instead, you're going to lose money than make a profit. If you're going to cater to an audience of children, you should be, instead of making shirts or more cases or school-related materials like a graphic notebook. Otherwise, you're targeting barely anyone, especially at that price. Now, I know there will be little kids trying to defend him, calling me an idiot and how he's better than me. The truth is, you're the idiot. The fact that you would defend him and say, I helped him become more popular, you should respect me and him because he has better things to do, is just pathetic. If you can't handle criticism from others towards your game creator, why bother trying to come back at me? Face it, kid, it's the reality. People will criticize what they dislike, and prove why they don't. Everyone can't agree with everything. I know there's also a little kid who states that Joe's Subway Trial and Subway Train Simulator 2 sucks. What really sucks is that you play a really disliked game that people don't like and just find it bad, so maybe think about that. Here are my speculations and theories on this. First of all, I have theorized that Messiah could be buying from people to join his group. Like I said before, his average visits per hour don't make sense at all, yet almost 8,000 members in his group. We will denounce Transit City and Messiah Hill 1, 2, 3. Don't play his games if you expected high-quality modeling and gameplay. If you wanted that, play Joe's Subway Trials. If you want great graphics but a quicker simulation, play Subway Train Simulator. These great titles provide good quality and spend time well. I recommend avoiding his games and even buying his merchandise. It is a low-quality value and does not deserve your time or attention. Until he understands the meaning of quality, it will not be recommended and denounced by us. Thank you and have a great day.